in this fast-paced world we lived in, it is interesting to stop and breathe in and look at motion in peace and beauty that is not rushing anywhere. This photograph has been captured by Rick Turner. I call him the Bard of Turtle Creek because he's a photographer, and he goes down, and he's been doing it for 5 years and capturing the beauty right here in Dallas at Turtle Creek. Through his photography and through his love of nature, I have come to know him because he's married to one of my dearest friends, Dee Dee Leahy. I want to know something about you. I see these pictures, and I know you're a photographer, but there's something within you that captures these photographs in a way that I've not seen. What is it you're trying to capture?
I'm trying to capture the essence of the interaction of these birds, and bees, and the trees in God's world.
In God's world.
In God's world.
And the stillness of that world.
He is the creator, and I'm just the documentary photographer.
Did you start out like that? I want to know if you had this God thing in you, or were you a wild child and you went, you know, I want to know about you.
Well, I was a wild child. But I started my business in the early 70s, and I was basically a advertising and architectural photographer. This new dimension occurred when I moved here to Dallas 7 years ago. And my wife and I would walk Turtle Creek, and I'd start taking my camera, and I would start taking pictures, and Dee Dee would look at him and say, "Boy, you're seeing something nobody else sees." And that's kind of how a photographer develops. I was taught in college that get closer, get closer, get closer. You know, a lot of people take the wide-angle pictures, and I think what my professors were trying to say is get into the subject and understand it. Now, with these wildlife pictures, I had never shot a bird until 7 years ago.
Oh, you're kidding me.
No, I'd shot golf and tennis and all kinds of commercial stuff, but I never spent the time to take and shoot birds and wildlife.
Now, I want to know, because so many people say, but you've managed to make a living doing something you're passionate about. What's the driving? How do we get to do that? Is there something internally that makes us persevere, or a confidence, or what is it that makes us achieve that?
Well, I think basically I feel like I owe it to other people to show the world that I see. And I see it differently than most other people. As I got to watching the interaction of the birds and the bees and whatever, I saw a unbelievable dynamic I didn't know before. I didn't know birds had wives and grew children and protected them.
You didn't think about it.
I didn't think about it at all. And so when I go down there, and maybe I'll go to take a picture of a cardinal, that'd be my intent. But by the time I get down into Turtle Creek, there'll be an egret or a heron or a butterfly or a flower or the water, just the water moving.
Just the water moving.
Yes.
And you said now that you're accepted down there into that world. In other words, they don't run from you. They know the man with the floppy hat is coming down Turtle Creek to photograph and be a friend to them.
That's the amazing fact of it. 5 years ago, I just wanted to get a picture of an egret, if I could just capture a photograph. And now I can get down within 20 and 30 feet of them and get pictures of them eating, and they seem to know me. They seem to not be afraid of me.
Where can we buy your work? Can we buy it, or will you give it away, or what?
Well, I don't want to give it away, but you can buy it on my website. I'm reasonably priced because I feel like I want people to share and enjoy the world that I see. At the same time, I need to make a living.
That's
so,
right.
You know, there is a balance there. But if you go to my website, all the photographs on that website are for sale. And
also these amazing greeting cards that he has that introduced me to him. I wanted you to meet him today because I'm such a fan of his photographs, but also his philosophy. And I think he's a fabulous man who's doing good in our city and bringing that beauty to you. We'll be right back. We've got a link to Rick's website on ours. Just go to thebroadcasttv.com and click on today's links. And by the way, it's easy to cook pancakes from a mix. Oh, but they're so much better from scratch, and we'll learn how when the broadcast returns.